James, it's been a bit of a quick turnaround for you. Not long ago from your last fight, your first fight on Eternal coming up this weekend, Eternal 68 in Perth. Jesse Armstrong's your opponent. Just tell us a little bit about what you're walking into over there.
I'm excited, bro. It's my first time, like what you said, just being able to go over there and compete. As I've been on the side, bro, I've like watched a lot of Eternal shows, and it's a bit of a pleasure for me to be able to compete over there. But I feel like I'm going in there with a bit of introduction about myself. Like I feel like over there they don't know much about me. They probably heard about me, but they haven't been able to like see me properly or see me fight. So I get to go out there and showcase and introduce myself properly to the Eternal people.
I guess there's been a little bit of issue over the last few years with the fighters from New Zealand because we've had those border restrictions. You know, those fights in Australia haven't really been accessible. So if you've wanted a fight, it's probably had to be like against a gym mate or something.
Yeah.
Now that things are opened up, we're seeing a lot more fighters actually get on these cards. For a fighter yourself, just how frustrating has that been, or how good is it now that we're open?
Oh yeah, it was definitely frustrating. Like I had to even take kickboxing fights to stay active. Like it was hard for me to be able to get MMA fights out these ways, just because I don't know what happened to the welterweights out on from here, or I just know that most of the welterweights were over there, and I've always kept my eye on that welterweight scene over in Australia because I knew that the creme de la creme are all over there, and I'm finally glad to be there now. I've always wanted to compete with the best, and I want to go over there and prove that I belong in that pool, because I know what I can possess, and I'm kind of over being able to compete over here because I feel like I got nothing to prove over here, especially because there's no one to prove it against. And what's the point when I can go over there and try it out on all the top echelon over there, you know?
What do you know about Jesse Armstrong? I know last time he had a pretty good submission win and a couple of decisions before that.
Yeah, well, he's been on a bit of a tear. I see he's on a 3-fight win streak. He looked impressive in his last fight, but guess what I take out of that is that none of them ain't me. So I feel like he has to step it up for this one. And for me, it's just like all due respect to him, but I've fought a lot of tough guys. He's not the only tough southpaw I've fought as well. And this is in terms of boxing, kickboxing, just my whole experience. And the guys that I spar day in, day out, even though I haven't been as active as I have prior to my last MMA fight, but I got the chance to be able to spar the best guys in the world every single week, and I feel like that's kind of helped me get over that whole conspiracy about ring rust, where I feel like it doesn't make, it doesn't exist, but in my world it doesn't exist.
You mentioned southpaw. In boxing, maybe even in kickboxing, like you can look at the southpaw orthodox matchup as it can hang a few guys up because it's just not what they're used to.
Yeah.
In mixed martial arts, I feel like it's a little bit different because you get so many stance switches. Like, does that really matter if you're coming up against a southpaw guy when there's every chance a minute into the fight he'll be orthodox?
Same old shit, bro. Same old. Doesn't mean anything to me. I've sparred, fought southpaws. It doesn't matter, bro. I fight them the same way. I feel like they need to figure out something to. They need to figure me out. That's what they need to do. Whereas for most southpaws, I feel like they have a harder time against me than I do against them.
For yourself, what can people expect from James Vake?
Just a fight, bro. A really good fight. In a perfect world, I want it to be impressive. But if it doesn't go according to plan, then they're gonna expect a fight. I'm willing to go 15 minutes straight scrap.
With John also on the card, your brother, what does it mean to you to be able to compete alongside him?
Oh, it's cool, bro. I didn't quite. I didn't really. At the start of this year, I didn't really picture me and him ever being able to compete in the same card, just because we're in the same division as well. So I thought, like, if I ever cross that bridge, like, he would be on the card and I would have to wait for the card after that because like he's probably fighting another welterweight. But like I said before, there's plenty of bodies over there, and yeah, it's pretty cool that we get to fight on the same card and get to go out there and showcase, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm more excited for his fight than I am for mine, and it's no disrespect to Jesse, but it's just it's just a natural younger brother thing. You know, you just want to watch your big brother fight, and whereas for me, it's I'm chill. Like I'm pretty chilled about it.
I mean, John's just come back from the Commonwealth Games. You
Yeah.
mentioned wanting to see your big brother fight. How was that, watching him compete over there?
Oh, well, it was cool. Like, it was pretty cool. Just being able to see with my own eyes that he was competing on the world stage, seeing my last name on a singlet, or our last name, and having to represent our country, like, oh yeah, I had a emotional moment when I saw him, just because I saw how unreal it was and all the hard work we've done over the last couple of years. It's good to know that something's actually paying off. So this Saturday is not any different. You know, it's just another step into our body of work.
We mentioned that last fight that you had, and I probably should, touch on the fact that was the last building your brother fought in. What was that like for you, just that experience of going back to that building where that was the last time you saw him fight?
Yeah, well, what most people don't really know, but it was like a day before, like I just had a real emotional moment, just because as soon as I got into the venue, everything just hit me. Like I had flashbacks of my brother all over again, because of literally the last time I was there, we were there together, and as I walked into the venue, this was like a couple minutes before the weigh-in, and I just like looked around the whole venue, and it just seemed unreal, bro. And I felt like I was able to feel him a whole lot more, and yeah, it was a special moment for me, and I knew that like I had to go out there and just be able to make him proud, go out there and showcase my talent. So it was a bit of a privilege to go out there and fight on the same show that he last fought on. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
We won't dwell too much on that. There's already been so much media about your family and what you guys have had to go through over the past few years. Just lastly on this fight, big travel to Perth. As far as Australia goes, that's about as far as you can possibly get to go for a fight night.
Yeah.
What is this trip like for you, having not only yourself, not only John, but Nyreen and Mizu as well, also on the card?
Yeah, oh man, it makes things a whole lot easier, It's almost like I don't have to focus too much on my fight. It's like I can kind of be excited for the other fighters and watch their fight. Kind of takes a lot of weight off my shoulder too. So I'm excited to go out there and see Mizu's fight. I'm excited for Mizu's fight, actually. Like, man, and even Irene's fight, like she's fighting someone I hear that's like probably like the number one in her weight division.
Yeah, that's what I've been
So it's like,
too.
how, as a training partner, how are you not excited for that? And yeah, it's pretty cool being able to go out there and showcase with them, and also be able to like travel together while we're friggin' cutting weight and they're on the plane. So it's good to have somebody enjoy that same pain with me.
Who's going to be cornering you guys? I assume Eugene's going to be over in Utah.
Andre, I know Andre's flying with us, and Blood Diamond told me that he's gonna meet me over there, or meet us over there. So yeah, we're pretty sussed, and I think and I got my brother there, so that's the perks of being able to fight on the same card. Is that no matter, like, even if he's fighting later on, he'll still be there cornering me, and vice versa, I'll be there cornering him.
Sweet, man. We'll leave it at that. Hope all goes well over in Perth at the weekend.
Oh, thanks, bro. Definitely will, bro. 100%. I guarantee that.